Hey everyone, David here from Black Badger Software Solutions. What we have for you here is a small snippet from our Monday.com basic training course. In the video, pretty cut and dry, straight to the point. This is exactly how you do A, B, and C in Monday.com with a screen share so you can follow along and actually do what I'm telling you to do by following along on the screen. So I hope you enjoy. Let's talk about dashboards. Now, this can at times seem to be a very daunting aspect of Monday. And I'm not going to lie, dashboards can get pretty complex and there are a lot of amazing things you can do with them. So to that sense, yeah, I've seen dashboards that are ridiculously complex and not for the novice to create. But they are also simple at the same time, and you don't need those crazy dashboards. And if you do, you should probably hire someone or do some of my later courses. However, we are going to take it from the perspective of being new to Monday and creating some simple dashboard widgets. So that being said, let's hop right into it. Now, I already have a dashboard made, but if you want to make your own, you simply go here to this plus symbol and hit New Dashboard. Now, this one's made, and the first thing you'll notice is you have to choose the boards that it's going to roll this information into. Now, as a note, each Monday plan has a limit on how many boards can roll information into a dashboard. Now, on the beginner plans, it's 1 board. On the standard or team plan, it's 5. On the business plan, it's 20. And on enterprise, it's 50. So if you do have more than 50 boards that you're trying to run into one dashboard on enterprise, you cannot do so. There needs to be other third-party solutions involved. Same with if you want to roll up more than 20 boards into one dashboard on the business plan. But we're really only connecting 1 board right now, so let's just do that. We're going to do the client 555. Now that that's done, we're going to add our first widget. And these ones right here are usually some of the best ones to pick from. They're also the easiest to set up. Now, the chart widget includes multiple chart types, and I'm going to go over that. So now that we're here, make sure we're in edit mode. I'm going to make this a little bigger. And it will usually automatically pull status. So now let's change this to campaigns by status. So now I'm going to go over here into settings. And this is where we're going to adjust things about this widget. Now you can change it to different types of pie or donut. I consider them both pie charts, honestly. Different types of line charts, bar charts, column charts, area charts, and bubble charts. So these are all the options that are currently available. I want to leave it as a standard chart right now, so I'm not going to change anything here. But over here we have the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis being these categorizations down here in terms of what is it going to be tracking. So I chose status, so it will choose all the statuses that are available. Then the y-axis is how this moves upward. In this case, y-axis is to count the items. Just to give you some more reality on how this works, I'm going to go over to that board really quick. And I'm going to change one to stuck. Now watch what happens. It added one to stuck. So it's just counting the quantity and it's counting anything that's in a status. And blank does not count as a status. So these are not counted. Now back to the dashboard, we're going to go back into settings. Now we can also set benchmark lines, such as 5. Not sure why we would need 5. Maybe you had a quota to make and you want to have 5 done, so that could make more sense. You can also set the benchmark line label and have it say something. Monthly quota. You can see it appeared up here. You can change the line color. We can also add additional benchmark lines if you want. Now, in more settings, we can also assort We can sort it different ways, ascending or descending based on its access, show only top and bottom items, cumulative data. For instance, you'll notice that it's now adding every status to the previous status. In most instances, this is not a good use case because there are not 4 working on it. There are only 2, but it's 2 plus 2. That gives you 4. You can always click on these and it will tell you a little bit more about it, though not that much. In boards, this might be a specific instance where you have 5 or 10 boards associated to this dashboard, but you want this widget to only pull from a specific board. So in here, you can select that. Let me add another board so you can see what I'm talking about. Now you can see there's 2 different boards I can choose from, and I only want from client 555. So I can simply go back and add it if I do want to include this one. Now, there can also be groups. So let's say I only want client 555 and I only want specific groups. So in this case, I'm going to make this a little more clear. Purple group, blue group. Now you can see that I can choose which groups I want. Now, I could exclude the completed group, and you don't really see a change because nothing's in it. Now, let's just say we had the done item in the completed groups. Now, we actually have one in done. So this is what you'll see. It's still marked as done. Nothing changed here. However, if we go into the settings now and I exclude the completed group, it disappears and it only shows the other groups. So that's how you sort this specific type of chart. Now, when it comes to changing chart types, a lot of things are the same. The quota lines, not necessarily, they don't apply to every single type or category, but you can honestly go in here and change chart types, and it'll work with most chart types when you switch between the two. You may run into instances where they just don't make sense. So as you see here, this literally makes no sense. Well, it's because the bubble chart has other types of settings that you need to set that do not correspond to pie charts, bar charts, etc. When you do start switching between chart types suddenly, you will also notice that the data no longer works because when you were in one type of chart and then you go to the next one, it does make its own backend setting changes. So if you see this, the simple solution is just exit out. And hey, look here. It deleted your settings. Well, when that happens, unfortunately, there's no fix at this time other than deleting it and creating a new one. I know it's annoying, but as of this moment, that is how it works in Monday. What I don't recommend doing is going in and changing a chart all the time, changing its type. What I would recommend doing is if you want to play around, duplicate this. Then you can go into this duplicated chart, and here you can play around with all the lines and start clicking around, and then suddenly it'll break. Okay, well, no worries. You still have this one up here, which has been saved. So go ahead and delete this one, and now you don't need to constantly create new charts when you have them working or you're testing other things. So that's how I would go about adding new widgets. Now, let's just hop back in here to the widgets. And I'm going to go to more widgets. They have quite a few. This is a way to see all the various types of widgets that you can add. When you see something like this, it means it's an enterprise-only feature. They are also broken down into categories. You can see here on the left side, and you'll see these reflect as you're scrolling down. Now, like for instance, the embed everything, and YouTube, it's embedding the YouTube player, but embed everything is a great way to add links to Google Docs or various other things. Now, go back into settings, paste your link here. It just asks you for the URL to add the link. Now, regarding the embed everything widget specifically, it doesn't actually tell you what types of things you can embed, and it is not everything. It only tells you here PDFs, Typeform, Google Maps, etc. So if you want to see the full list of everything that could be embed, you're going to want to go over here and go to Help and type in Embed Everything. And it will take you to an article that will be a lot more specific as to what can and can't be included. Now, let's go add another great widget, such as the battery widget. This is honestly pretty much the same as one of these widgets over here. It's just horizontal and looks like a battery. You can go in, go to settings. Now you don't have an X and Y axis. You just have how you want it sorted by status. I only want to see client 555, so I can either exit this out here, or I can go over to boards in this one and deselect client ABC. So a lot of these settings are continuous throughout each different type of widget, but you'll notice again, no X and Y axis. So if you just read through these, they're pretty self-explanatory. And this is a great little battery widget that I can now use. The interesting thing about this one is it does include empty, which charts don't. So now, when we're also in these widgets, the one great thing about these widgets is that when you're actually hovering your cursor over them, you can select the statuses and it will tell you in a split screen view what those items are. And now if you wanted to, you could go in here and change the status, assign people. You can actively work on these items from a dashboard. And then you just hit exit drill down, which is what it's called, drilling down into that chart, exit out of that. And here we are again. Same thing on the battery widget. You want to see everything that's empty? Click on it. And it will now show you from which boards, which groups, which items, everything that relate to everything that's empty. We're stuck, we're working on it, or done. So the dashboard widgets are themselves not just visual. They are dynamic and can be worked on, which is a great feature when it comes to these dashboards. So for the most part, the dashboard widgets, especially these ones right here, are really easy to use. They are pretty much automatically pre-generated based on the most commonly used statuses and item types when you pre-make them. And I would stick to these. I will be making more courses and a lot more videos about how a lot of these work, how to completely customize them to the extent of Monday's capabilities, so that way you can really maximize your dashboards. But for right now, that's the basic gist of how to use a Monday dashboard. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. As I said, I thought it's pretty cut and dry and very precise. Like, look, it's just do this, 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 no fluff in the videos. So, and that's pretty much what the whole course is about. It's about 45 videos. They're all between 1 to 8 minutes long of just, this is exactly how you use Monday.com. It defines the terms, it defines how you use it, and it shows you exactly where to go and how to do it. If you want any more information on how to do that course, you can find the information in the description below. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, and follow, and leave a comment if you have one. Thanks.